We've got to get to Steve Baker, investigative journalist at The Blaze, though he was not working for The Blaze on January 6th of 2021. But he has been arrested. He's been arrested by the feds for his role on January 6th, 2021, Stu. He did not storm. He went as an investigative journalist. What are the feds upset about? The things he said. They're mad. He called Nancy Pelosi a bad word, and he seemed to show some favor toward the protesters, though he says some of that was in jest. But even if it wasn't in jest, it's not illegal to favor what you saw on January 6th. It's controversial. It's not illegal. So what do you make of what's happened here, the arrest of a journalist, one of your colleagues?
I'm here at the Blaze. Yeah, it's amazing. I'm here at the Blaze. I work with Steve. I did not know him at the time, and it's been fascinating. I did the last interview with him before he got arrested the other day. He was, he's the most mild-mannered guy you've ever talked to. He's a reporter, and you can tell he's a reporter. He sounds like a reporter. He's been doing this for a long time. He was there with his microphone to get man on the street stuff. And, he's been consistent ever since I've ever talked to him about how he opposed the violence and anything that happened at these events. They're trying to get him on words he said, many of them joking. Being a wise ass on a podcast is not a crime. That is it's not a criminal activity.
We'd all get arrested.
I'd certainly be in prison. It's my entire career, basically, in a nutshell. But it's fascinating because I will say I approached Steve with a little bit of skepticism, honestly. Like, I didn't know him. And when he came to the Blaze, like he wasn't working here. He was, covering this stuff and doing his own reporting on his own. And I think there are people who were probably inside on January 6th who used journalism as an excuse. You see them chanting and doing all of these things that aren't consistent with what a reporter probably would do. And I pressed Steve on that, and I've been impressed with the way he's answered these questions. He's at times talked about issues and said he's been critical of people who were in there, who committed violence, but also says, like he said to me, he said, "Look, I am not allowed to actually be in that building, and I know that. Even if I have a press credential, I'm not allowed to be in there. But when I was in there with 60 other reporters who were doing the same thing. None of them have been charged." He told me the fifth person to enter the Capitol was a New York Times reporter through a broken window.
What am I going to do? I'm going to sit there and let the New York Times go in and get the story, and I'm going to be like, I'm the rule follower. I stayed outside. I didn't get any footage, boss. That's not the way journalism works.
Right. And he took that footage and he was able to license it to NBC News and HBO and many other outlets. And the Times. And by the way, we have the footage of him inside the Capitol. We have all of it now. And he is standing there like, I hate to say this for poor Steve, but like the most boring person in the entire world. He is standing against the wall. He's letting people walk by him.
He's
him
right there in the back.
With the crowd. Yeah. Look at it.
Wow.
This is basically, it's the most boring 37 minutes of footage you will ever see because he was really there to cover the story. And like you'd think in a country that is at odds with each other, a lot of unrest, the last thing you do is press something like this against a legitimate reporter working at a major conservative outlet. But it seems like chaos seems to be more of the goal than quelling this unease between the two sides. And that is maybe the most problematic part of all of this.
Dave, on top of everything, he says now, Steve Baker says, his hands and his ankles were chained when he was dragged into court in the federal building in front of the magistrate judge to face 4 misdemeanor charges. He was chained.
Yeah, that was done for our benefit, right? That was a message to you, Megyn. That was a message to you, Steve. That was a message to me and anybody else who may have the temerity to criticize the Biden administration, the Democrats, the left, or say a kind word about Donald Trump. This is absolutely chilling, and it's not an isolated incident. I wrote about the case of Owen Schroyer, which was a little bit of a different case because there was a probation issue there, and so the underlying crime was perhaps a little more plausible. But the Department of Justice sent a sentencing recommendation where they asked the judge to give him more jail time because he went on InfoWars and said the election was stolen. I'm sorry. This is the United States of America. You don't get more jail time for stating your political opinion.
Correct.
So this is creep, right? Starts with InfoWars. Now it's at the Blaze. Listen, their eyes are on us, guys. Don't kid yourself.
James O'Keefe, too. We'll see what happens in that
Absolutely.
case. But the FBI came, raided his house in the middle of the pre-dawn light after he tried to get that Ashley Biden diary potentially published, but he never did it. That's ongoing. His whole career is in tatters right now, but he's resurrected over at OMG.
The only credential
Media.
we need is the First Amendment. That is the only press credential that anybody needs.
That's right. Now get out of my way. Okay, so a couple of years ago, I bought these glasses from Bond Charge. I use the orange ones when I'm watching TV, and I use the yellow ones when my eyes are tired from looking at the computer, and I love them. My whole family loves them. You know, sometimes your eyes are just tired at the end of the day. My little guy, Thatcher, and I put on our orange glasses, and we watched Liar Liar the other day. It was actually really fun. Bond Charge is a great company, and they have this whole approach to wellness that's holistic. So there's a bunch of fun stuff on their websites that you could check out because it's a brand dedicated to optimizing all aspects of your life. They're grounded in science, they're inspired by nature, and their evidence-based products cover a broad spectrum of premium wellness items like those glasses. Okay, but it's not just the glasses. From enhancing sleep and boosting performance to upping your energy and accelerating recovery and balancing hormones, Bond Charge offers a diverse range of benefits. Here's the thing they want you to consider now. Their infrared sauna blanket from Bond Charge that they say can burn extra calories and detoxify. This innovative blanket elevates your heart rate, simulating the effects of physical exercise. Bond Charge says sweating during the process will help eliminate heavy metals and toxins from your body. And setting it up takes less than a minute, and then it rapidly heats up for a quick and convenient experience. For a limited time, save 15% by visiting Bond, B-O-N, Charge, CHARG.com/MK, and use that coupon code MK. Bondcharge.com/MK. Use the coupon code MK to save 15%. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.